want to talk to you a little bit today about how retaining an expert in your drug-impaired driving case may assist you. In Canada right now, there are standard field sobriety tests at the roadside done if an officer suspects you are impaired by a drug when you're driving. And if you fail those tests, then the officer can demand a drug evaluation, which is a very complex procedure of physical coordination tests, evaluation, potentially taking urine or blood back at the police station. It's about a 12-step process, very involved. In these particular cases, in order for these tests to have any scientific validity, and some question whether they're scientifically valid, there's competing arguments on that, but they have been approved in Canada and the States in these cases, they have to be done properly. Testing procedures and evaluations are only as good as the examiner's training and whether he did a particular testing procedure properly. So at the police station, this drug evaluation is typically going to be videotaped. Pretty much always is going to be videotaped, in fact. And as a lawyer who is very experienced in this field at our firm, we know how to do these tests. We understand if they're done properly, and we're going to examine that and provide the client with an opinion. Look, this was done perfectly and your case doesn't look too good, or you know what, there's problems with the case. You passed many of the tests. I think we should bring in an expert because I think potentially we can win your case. So what we do in that particular situation is we have an expert who's an expert drug evaluator in private practice, not working for the government, and we retain them to provide an opinion about, backing up the opinion we've already provided. And potentially they will testify at trial as well. And we can then attack the evaluation procedure by saying, look, you weren't doing the divided attention test properly. There's horizontal gaze and stigmas tests where you're following fingers, the one-legged stand, the touching fingers to the nose, taking pulse properly, all sorts of things, temperature, muscle tone. It's a very complicated 12-step process. And we've often been able to win these cases by pointing out problems with the testing procedure that effectively, look, the police officer, even though he's accredited as an expert, his training's out of date, he didn't do it properly in this case, was lazy, what have you, and their opinion's not valid, and you can raise a reasonable doubt in many cases. So that's the benefit of potentially retaining this type of expert, having them testify to critique the Crown's case in support of hopefully winning a particular client's case.